strawberry one. Same with the strawberry.
Do they not have frosting?
No, they do. But
Okay.
it's like I forget what it's called. But it's like natural or something like that. It's like Pop Tarts Go or something weird.
With the one
But
with the powdered sugar on it, you know.
it'll go. It's a little different, but
Oh yeah, it's a good Pop Tart.
oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Look at that quality Pop Tart right there. I get the price right Pop Tarts, the tarts.
Yes. Oh yeah. It was I really love the off-brand ones. They're really fucking
They
good.
got the pop on it.
Mhm.
It's just the tarts.
I really
Happy
do
Tart.
like what was I gonna say? Toasting them. Like,
Yeah.
do you usually just eat them raw dog like that?
Mm-hmm.
It's,
Okay,
It's a
guys.
special occasion if I
like
toast it.
raw dog. Right.
All right,
Oh yeah.
and we're live.
Oh,
Milk
really?
baby.
Oh, nice.
I want to get some of the Pop Tart banter in
Well-
because it was a good banter.
Where's the Pop Tart banter? You can't really have a Pop Tart without talking about how good Pop Tarts are. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
right?
Especially with the mouthful. That's how you know it's a good one, right?
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
And with that being said, right, let's welcome everybody to episode 56 of the Level With You show. As you might be thrown off right now, normally we got the lovely voice of Wiley Olmsted welcoming you in, but today it's me. I don't know how I deserve the honor. Maybe I've missed a couple weeks, and Wiley was like hot seat, and I was like, it's Kenny. I'm also joined by Tyler, the producer, man.
Hey.
Anthony Pop Tart full of
Hi.
nothing. And Wiley, Mr. Wiley eats video games for breakfast, reviews them for dinner.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How we doing this week?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, little unorthodox welcome in here. I'm not as good with the nicknames as Wiley is, but on the fly, I
Well, I
thought
thought about them beforehand. I don't just come up with them.
you see, I thought he was dropping bars, gems off the top of the dome. But
Not so much.
We'll go a little forward. As everybody knows, this is a video game podcast. If you didn't know that before, but most likely you did because it's 56 weeks in, right?
Yeah,
Good
right. Who
order.
doesn't know?
Right.
If you're just joining in for the first time, welcome. We enjoy you. We love you. Anthony has, some messages for you guys on the side. He's
I know. Check it out. I wore the sexy shirt for you guys today.
for
You
the
like it?
You're so kind.
14 and chill, right?
Mm.
So,
Oh yeah.
all right, guys. I missed last week. I missed you guys. What's up? What's been going on?
It's okay, Kenny. I slept through half of last week, so
totally
yeah, I did.
I jumped on and I'm like, "Where's Anthony?" And I was came back 20 minutes later, and then you were there. I'm like, "Wait a second. What happened here?"
he's dead.
We woke him up.
Yeah,
we,
it
we
was
brought him
tough
back to
doing it
life.
with just Tyler.
I know, man. You can't talk to that kid sometimes.
I know.
It's all one note. It's all persona.
like-
Or it's all I have a house, or I'm being productive in a garden.
And you missed it. Wiley
Yeah.
walked away, right? Wiley had to do something right before the show, right before you jumped on, and right before we were getting ready for the show. And I'm talking to Tyler, and he was already talking Persona.
No shoot.
I was prompted. I had to.
It's funny you bring it up too, because that's all my roommate's been talking about. Is he's like right there beating. He just beat Cheetos Palace, so he's right there, almost at the end of Persona 5, and now he wants to buy a PS4. He wants to get Royal.
Wow. So Tyler, are you getting the itch now that you've been out of your life for a couple weeks? Are you like, why did I blaze through that so freaking fast?
Dude, I didn't blaze through anything. I played 120 hours with this thing.
But you played it 6
Yeah.
hours a day.
So
Yeah, for like 4 weeks.
That's like, I love it.
Yeah.
It's a good
Anyway,
game.
It was a part of
it
the
took
whole
me all
month.
summer of 2017 to beat 5. So props
he
to
did
you
it.
for getting it done in
He
like what
did
was it,
it.
5
Weeks.
weeks?
Yeah, that's great. Probably less than that. It was like
Yeah,
2 weeks.
2.5, bro.
Yeah.
2.5.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
It's
wild.
the best. It's the best game of all time.
It's the best game.
It's arguably it is one of the best games of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Best RPG.
I know we were kind of radio silent on Monday for Memorial Day. I kind of, as much as sometimes I might not jump in there and say anything, I do kind of enjoy some of the foods that Wiley sends through pictures in the group chat. But remember, it's grilling day, so I assumed he didn't send any because he was grilling.
Well, to be honest, I didn't grill. My grill was destroyed by a dog last summer. It
Oh,
got
No.
Yeah, it got its big old leash wrapped around it, and it dragged it all across the front yard.
Oh,
And
no.
I,
That was your roommate's old dog, right?
yeah, my roommate's old dog, and he never replaced it for me, but he left his vacuum, so I guess that's the trade-off.
I guess.
Is it a nice vacuum?
No,
Oh.
Ooh.
At least you left
okay.
the GameCube.
it's
Like
like a
it's
$70 vacuum from Amazon. Like it really kind of sucks.
Dang, I would have been
I see
all
what
over that if I were you.
you-
Be like, dude, I want to
Man.
grill food.
True. Well,
Definitely would have been like, yo, homie, I know you leaving, but where's my grill?
Yeah.
Like, what's up?
true. I mean, it was a charcoal grill, and I've been wanting to get a gas grill, like a propane grill, for a long time. So I just treated myself to a bike last week. That's been a big thing for me. I've been going on a lot of bike rides, which has been a lot of fun. It's been great to have something that feels so good, and I just grew up riding bikes as most kids did, and the feeling of the wind washing in your face when you're going down a hill, it feels great.
Mhm.
I'm
Do you
trying
wear a
to
helmet?
imagine. Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to imagine this. Is there a helmet involved?
There is a helmet. I got an expensive,
Mm, smart.
nice helmet at the bike
Nice.
shop.
Gotta
What about
protect that
the
noggin.
reflective vest? Are you going on these bike rides at night?
I am not. No, I actually have not been on a single night ride yet. Stay on light till like 8:30 these days, and I'm always drunk by 7. So
There you go.
A drunk bike ride sounds kind of nice.
It is. It's not bad. I mean, as long as you can
Oh my
balance.
gosh.
I did that. Used to do
I've
it in
heard-
Northampton.
I have heard so many horror stories about people's drunk bike rides.
I
You
have
just gotta stay upright.
sober bike rides.
Hmm
I can only imagine.
Yeah, I really
So
do.
what about-
Yeah.
I actually do miss biking, like the Northampton bike trail. I mean, that was always fun because we would stop at like the bars and stuff on the way, but now we can't even do that.
Not yet.
not yet, not yet.
Soon
Still
now.
deep into that quarantine now.
Hmm
Yeah.
Quarantine. That's
It's crazy
so
thinking
long.
back like to mid-March, and just that feeling of like, whoa, everything's closing. What's gonna close next? What's gonna
Yeah.
and like it's a time we'll never forget for sure.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
even looking back at some of those episodes right before everything closed, and just even talking about this impending COVID-19 and hitting stateside and what's going to happen, we had, people pulling out of PAX East, things like that, and then
Mhm.
we're in the middle of a quarantine, and life has not been the same, and it's not going to be the same for the time, for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it is definitely it's crazy, and it's we're talking now about working together in person again, and I still have to make sure Elena's cool with it. I'm pretty sure she will be.
hmm
But it is crazy to think that it's only been a couple months now. Now everything feels pretty different, and everybody's going out wearing masks, and it's just not something that, even when we made that episode, which was like when Tyler made the really funny thumbnail about like Yu-Gi-Oh coronavirus or something,
Coronavirus
right?
gift card.
Right? Yeah.
And we would not be probably. I mean, we shouldn't have been joking about it at all.
Probably.
That's the only way to, and that's definitely one of the best ways to handle it. I think it's not like we're like, oh, fuck, people are dying, ha.
Well, we didn't know what we were getting into at that time. Like
Yeah.
we didn't know
Right.
it was going to be affecting the U.S. more so than any country, and so yeah, I mean, it's our
Well,
weekly Corona talk. How was your Memorial Day, Kenny?
Honestly, it wasn't too bad. I had already grilled over the weekend already like 2-3 times. So really Monday came and I was like, I really don't want to cook anything. I was just kicking it back and relaxing. We've done a lot of things in the backyard. Our backyard projects are coming along slowly but surely. Metalis has dug up a huge hole in the backyard. Where she is going to level and throw her pavers down. And I sent in the group chat a box that I got from Stop and Shop about the seeds for planting.
Oh yeah, nice.
And I've been opening up some of them to see what vegetables they are. There's a bunch of dope vegetables in there, and I'm gonna most likely harvest none because I don't have a green thumb. But I'm setting up my vegetable garden in the back corner of the backyard. And that's kind of what I spent it. Like the kids weren't home with us; they were with their parents, and I ended up just ordering Joy Bowl because I missed it.
Hell yeah, I miss Joy Bowls real bad. I did get a Poke Bowl a couple weeks ago from a place in Northampton, which is really just as good. So that was excellent. So Kenny, you got these seeds. Don't you gotta germinate them first?
Bro, I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
I know I tried like one time I tried looking up the instructions how to do these things, and germinating confused me, and I was like, forget it. And like when you open up these packs, right, it gives you the instructions of what to do. So I'm gonna follow the instructions. If we get vegetables, we get vegetables. If not, it was cool trying. I was like, hey, let's do this together. He was like, yeah. And then I looked right, he looked left, and then he was gone. And I could hear him on Fortnite. So he was not trying to do that with me. But of course, my evil twin, my stepdaughter, does not let me down. She's all about it. We're gonna tackle this tomorrow. We got about 80 of those things. I don't know how many of them we're gonna put together. So if you guys want any of it, you guys can have the leftovers. You know, embrace trying to cultivate 80 of these things.
That's ambitious. That's really cool. I mean, I had a neighbor, the last place I lived. They were pretty strange, but they had an incredible vegetable garden, and it's definitely a cool thing to have. And especially when you gotta going to the grocery store is an ordeal these days. So
Yeah, sucks.
Yeah,
more power to you.
We finally just put some soil into our raised bed at my house now, and like all of our seeds that were started growing inside are coming along like really well, to the point where we're probably going to plant those in the outside this weekend.
Nice.
We've got some squash that are like coming up really nicely. They've got like big green stems like this big now and coming out of the planter.
Wow.
So
Elena's go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so I think those squash are actually gonna actually work out pretty well. Then we've got like jalapenos, sweet peppers, habaneros, cabbage, some herbs, stuff like that too.
Gotta make some good curry with that squash.
Yeah.
Some nice summer. Get some coconut milk and.
Ooh, that sounds real friggin' good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot about our weekend and what's been happening in our lives. Let's move on to what we've been playing, right? I kind of, as much as I played something new, I've been waiting to hear some MK11 from Wiley.
Okay, so if you guys didn't know, Mortal Kombat came out with a pretty major expansion.
First time ever, right?
First time ever there's been story DLC in the Mortal Kombat franchise. Very unique for the fighting game genre in general. I think everybody forgets now that it's been over a year how good that story mode initially was in MK11. And I played the first 3 chapters of it last night, and I'm happy to report that it's awesome. It just feels, it's a little bit like a what if type of story scenario, and it is a little bit like it takes place right after the story concludes in Mortal Kombat 11, and takes away a little bit, and this is obvious that this would happen, but it takes away a little bit of the mystery of how they're going to reforge the whole Mortal Kombat universe because of how much Kronika and her time travel stuff altered things. It's like, well, just wait a minute, because Shang Tsung's here now, and we need to go back in time to get Kronika's crown, because that's the only way we can safely rewrite the timeline. And it's a little bit of a far-fetched opening scenario, but it quickly introduces lots of new characters that have been introduced over the past season pass and that are brand new to this expansion, including Fujin, the wind god. He's the brother of Raiden. He's so far, and Shiva, who is another. Is she the same species as Goro?
No, she's a different species. It's easy to get it confused, but I think they're distinct, like different races.
I do. Yeah, she has 4 arms, so that's why I get her confused with Goro. But and then the third new character is RoboCop, who I have not tried yet. But so I played the story mode for a couple hours. The cutscenes are just as long, just as detailed. They look just as pretty as they did in the base game, and I think it's probably going to be about half as long. I think the first one, the story mode, like in the base game, is 8 hours. From what I see in the menus, it looks like this will be like maybe 3 or 4. But between each fight, there's great production value. It's nice to be reminded that a game, the story mode for a game as a service like this, you tend to sort of forget about it because you beat it in a few days, and it really is admirable, I think, that NetherRealm is putting in more content like that, as opposed to just more skins, more stages, which there are a few, which seemed really neat from what I saw so far. You have any questions that you want to know about in particular?
I just wanted to know what your personal highlight of it so far is. Like one thing that you would say, because it costs what? It cost us $30 or was it
$40.
$40?
Yeah,
What
I mean,
out of the whole thing makes the $40 so far after you're 3 hours in, right? That makes it.
yeah. To me, what makes it worth it is I really like the game, the base game, and this just adds a lot to it and gives me a reason to pour another couple dozen hours at least into it. The thing that stood out to me most in my opening couple hours with it is how great that Shiva and Fujin feel.
Okay.
They both are nice and agile. They have an interesting move set. Like Fujin has this one move that literally made me go like, "Oh snap!" Because you just press up and down, or down up, or up down, I forget what, and he starts like his feet get about to head level, and he starts just running, and like you're running on wind, and
Oh,
it just leads to some really cool combo opportunities. And Shiva is a nice heavy hitting character, but still feels like she's not slow. Like
but not like
um,
Goro's kind of slow.
right, not like Goro, not like Shao Kahn or anything. Like much more agile than that. And I think that her character design's really cool. And so far, they seem like really, really valuable additions to the roster. So
That's amazing.
that's what stuck out so far to me.
And you know what I find interesting is that everybody expected the announcement not to be a story DLC or anything because we pretty much were teased Combat Pack 2. And this is what was delivered. So the fact that Combat Pack 2 can still be lingering in the horizon somewhere, how does that make you feel? Are you excited for that? Like there's a possibility of another 5 characters being added to this roster that's already as great as it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one hell of a jam-packed game if they come out with a whole nother 5 or 6 characters. And we got the new consoles coming out on the horizons.
And you drop the Game of the Year edition for those, with everything jam-packed into it, right?
Exactly. And do they continue supporting it even beyond that? I mean, it's already one of the best looking games on the market, and you could see it, being up-res to 8K and getting some better textures and everything, and it would still be one of the best looking games even on the next gen consoles, I think. So definitely always up for more. I feel like I'm just getting started with this, so I'm definitely satiated for the time being. Like I didn't even play more than a little bit of Spawn, so I didn't get that into Sindel. So there's lots of stuff for me to go back, and this is making me want to explore that stuff that I only dip my toes into, because now that there's like a kind of a wealth of content, like I still gotta, like I don't have impressions yet on the crypt. I don't know if they've made that more interesting. I don't know if I have anything that I can spend my 3 million coins on yet, and everything like that. So
did they just give you 3 million coins?
No, I just had that built up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think I just went in recently and I respawned like 300 chests and I wasted all my coins like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun opening those chests while it lasted. I can't believe I got the platinum in that game, man. I really
I
like
know.
Crazy.
grind it out.
I
I was a little disappointed there were no new trophies. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
really no new trophies with the whole. Wow, that's
Yeah,
actually slightly disappointing.
it is. I
I
feel
would have
like
assumed with the story and not because of the extra characters, but story DLC, you get at least 5 new trophies. You know.
would
Or
have been nice. Would have been nice.
Would have
But
been nice.
I know I was gonna mention. I know that this could be a possibility. I know there's a lot of characters I really haven't jumped in to really try and fool around with, and then we get 3 no more characters. I have the new expansion. I'm willing to get in there and do some videos, Wiley, with you
yeah,
online.
yeah,
I
let's do it as long as
that
we can keep it friendly.
oh, yeah, definitely. I got Premiere, so I can do some editing and keep it just to the highlights of whatever we record, and
Nice.
get like a 5 to 10 minute video.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, should have some time this weekend. Just let me know when.
Sounds perfect. Sounds perfect.
Cool.
Um, so, Ant, tell
Ro-
me a little bit about Rogue Galaxy. Man.
That's an old. I think they ported it. They ported it a couple of years back to the PS4. It's an old PlayStation 2 action RPG. I just on a whim decided to go back to the other day. I was looking for something to play, and I was like, "Oh, I haven't played this one in a while." It used to be one of my favorite games on the PS2 back when it came out, and it's been good. It's been fun. It's cool. It's if you've played if you've played like Dark Cloud 2, it's made by Level 5, so they've done that. I think Level 5 worked on Dragon Quest
Nino,
11.
Ni Nino Kuni.
Yeah, Nino.
Mhm. Yep, Nino Kuni. There was a couple other ones, but it's been fun going back and playing through an old PS2 RPG that's been like upscaled for PS4 because it's digital on the store. It's
Oh,
been
nice.
good.
It looks pretty. I'm looking at the screenshots of it, and it definitely has a nice looking Dark Cloud vibe, and looks like it's it's got that 3D cell shaded type of clean look. Or is it cell shaded? It's kind of hard to
It's
tell, I
kind of
guess.
it's weird. It's like when you zoom out, it's not like thickly cell shaded. But if you zoom out, or you're looking at something like compared to a background, you kind of they start getting like more of a cell shaded look. So you can
It's like they put an Instagram filter on it on a 3D
pretty much,
game.
yeah, exactly. So it's like easier to tell, like I guess from a distance rather than like having it be glaring, like oh, this is cell shaded, or at certain angles you can tell a little bit easier. But yeah, it's a great it's very grindy. It's very grind heavy kind of game, and all the dungeons kind of start looking the same after a little while because when it first came out, it was touted as like, oh, no load zones, or this is the one RPG with like no load screens, so you go from area to area seamlessly. But that just lends it to most of the dungeons are just long hallways that kind of loop the same way, or they're like different directions. But you kind of have to make a little bit of sacrifice with that if you're not going to have loading screens everywhere. You're going to have to basically every dungeon just turns into a long hallway.
Okay.
Gotcha. Speaking of long loading or no loading screens and dungeons, we played a lot of Diablo 3 this week as a
Yeah.
crew.
We did.
Everybody did as a crew by themselves. I think I picked it up kind of late. I already own it on the Xbox. I had like 5 characters maxed out. I think so. I was like a little iffy about picking it up and playing it, but then I was like, you guys were texting about it, and then I found out I had Sony rewards, and I was like, might as well. It's only 10.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with it. I mean, we had just like started dipping our toes into it on the show last week, and I am now level 60 something, and I think I finished the regular campaign because I killed Diablo. I assume that's the last boss, and then I got a big cutscene with the person that's on like the cover art of the Ultimate Evil Edition. So I think that I'm now in the expansion.
Okay.
And yeah,
DLC. I gotta catch up. I think I'm only like 40 something last time I played.
Yeah, but I believe once you beat the regular story campaign, you move on to the expansion, Reaper of Souls.
yeah.
And I don't know really what was added with the Necromancer one, to be honest with you.
Okay. So the character I played as was a monk. I ended up really liking that. after I got all the abilities.
I know. I feel like it was
most
like,
of
I feel like just like playing the game with you. I feel like it was just such a roller coaster at times. We're like, man, like this is like no fun. I'm not doing any damage now. And then he's like, oh shit, I just needed to like change my gear and like.
Yeah. Did you ever find a fist weapon, or did you stick with like poles and stuff?
I stuck with poles and stuff because
Mhm.
they do way more damage. I found. I didn't find any really good fist weapons,
Yeah. It
and
didn't look like there was really many. Kind of going through.
I guess that I found they were just did 600, 700 damage less than some of the stuff I was finding in late game. And I know Tyler got even farther than I did. He got, well, he did not farther in the story, but he leveled up more. And so how
Yeah.
you been enjoying it, Tyler?
I like a lot. I mean, so I'm like level 70, like Paragon level like 5 or 6 or something, I think.
What's
I haven't gone
paragraph
like,
level?
huh?
What's a paragraph level?
It's just like levels Paragon, just levels beyond level 70. So you might have
Also,
seen,
the light thing in Destiny, kind of like you hit that cap and then you go
yeah, sort of.
farther.
So like every time you get go up a Paragon level, it gives you a point that you can put into some these different categories. So it's in
Oh yeah,
like
that was the
it's in your
screen,
menu
I
screen,
remember,
yeah.
talking to you about that. I was like, what the hell's a paragon like thing? Because there's you have the different gauges, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so the Paragon has like 4 quadrants. So every time you go up a level, it gives you a point that you can spend in a different quadrant, and it just keeps like cycling. So it's not just like universal points that it gives you that you can spend anywhere you want. Like you have to spend it in like a specific quadrant as you level
Okay.
up.
That's interesting.
And so that'll increase like different stats and things like that.
Yeah.
And like,
That's sweet.
I mean, right now, like the weapon that I have that I've been using is like this giant like 2-handed axe, which
Oh,
like
still from as a wizard too.
I actually got it like I think when me and you, Anthony, were playing, that was like the
You got
first time
that.
I got it, but then I got like an even better one
Oh,
that
that's
dropped.
amazing.
But
That's
then I'm
crazy.
like, but at the same time, I'm thinking like, well, this giant axe isn't very wizard-like. It's kind of
Yeah.
like weird playing with this.
It does feel kind of off. Certain weapons they let you just equip. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I should be fucking using this.
hmm
That's
But
cool
hey,
though.
it does tons of damage, and yeah, I'm still like trying to find like legendary gear and messing around it, the adventure modes, and like doing the rifts and everything like that.
Those were a lot of fun. Like when we played the rifts on one night.
Yeah, I think like I played like one rift, like Torment 1. I jumped in, and even that like still wasn't like, it was definitely harder than the other difficulties, expert or master. But I think like any of us could jump in there and do that in the Torment.
Wasn't like impossible. I don't think we ever really felt that overwhelmed playing together. I mean, there was parts where we just feel like waves of people coming and like trying to kill us, but I don't think it was anything. Like,
Yeah, I think we just need to
enjoy
like we need to jump in and like gradually increase the difficulties, like start at Torment, and then like if that's like still easier for us, and just bump it up to Torment 2 and see how far we can actually go.
Be down with that.
And it's also the rifts, because I know that there's different rifts. I think there's the regular ones, the Nephilim ones, so depending on the rifts, those difficulties will also be different. Correctly, because I know that, I think, it's been a while. Like I'm trying to run through it with you guys in PlayStation. I know when I last left off on the Xbox, my main character, I think he was a barbarian. I think I had Paragon level 112. Something wild. I was playing it like consistently with a friend of mine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know there's like the greater rifts too, which you can't even get keys for those unless you're playing on Torment 1 at least. So I definitely want to try and get some keys to actually go into one of those and see what that's like.
Yeah, that stuff is fun, and also all the optional bosses that you find post game and in adventure mode, like just around when you revisit areas and chapters. Those are always fun to fight in later torments. Like I bump it up to Torment 3 and 4, and you'll go fight the cow king or something like that.
Oh, that's fucking awesome! I'm glad they still have the cow level.
So what's the difference between adventure mode and just the normal mode, which is pretty much all I've done?
Well, the campaign is just the story. You're just running through the story, whereas the adventure mode, you can go into the areas where each of the acts take place, and in each area, you can complete bounties. Each area has 5 different bounties. If you complete all the bounties in an area, you get like a chest that typically it'll have like some armor pieces, it'll have gold, it'll have jewels, and then it'll also have like recipes for the blacksmith. So like it'll have like legendary gear that you can now craft using the blacksmith.
Okay. Neato.
And then at the same time, in adventure mode, that's how you access the rifts and everything like that. And by beating the rifts, those bosses and stuff typically drop more higher grade loot.
Gotcha.
And they kind of have like everything already laid out, so you can just straight up go. Because I know over story mode you have the certain like the jeweler or whatever in different spots, but in this one, the adventure, they're all just in that main Tristram, or at least whatever town you kind of decide to go to from parts 1 through I think 4 or 5, however many parts in the game.
So, Kenny, you were talking about this 7-year-old dungeon crawler. You've been playing the one that just came out yesterday. Why don't we hear a little bit about Minecraft Dungeons?
Well, Minecraft Dungeons, like I was telling you guys a little earlier, I am almost done with it, I believe.
Already? Holy shit.
It's a $20 game for the base game. I think it's 30 or 40 for the one with the season pass.
I thought it was on Game Pass, wasn't it?
It's on. I didn't pay for it, so that's what I mean. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I mean, like pointing out, it's a $20 game, so it's not going to be a long game. But I could see where the replayability of it there is. There's a lot of different ways you could gear your character, because that's how this one, instead of like Diablo where it's a class, where there's classes that you pick and you got abilities. What it is just the gear. Based off of the gear you pick up and how you level it up. Like some of them will have enchantments that you could. Well, every time you get a level, you gain an enchantment point. That's what you gain. You don't increase any of your attributes or anything like that. It's all gear based. So, and
Interesting. Kenny, I don't mean to interrupt you. Is that Jesus surfing a sick flipping wave on your shirt, Wiley?
Yeah.
That's fucking rad. I was like, wait a minute. What the fuck is he wearing? Oh, that's way better than the hair.
Gotta take the time out to acknowledge Jehovah surfing over there.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice shirt.
Yeah, it's
actually really it's nice quality too. It's made in the USA. And
where'd you get it?
What's that? Newbury Comics.
Oh,
nice.
Of course.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you with Kenny. I was just like, wait a minute. I gotta make sure that's what, because I thought it was like one of those like maybe like different pattern shirts. I was like, wait a minute, no way. Better Lord and saving me off a freaking 10 footer.
Yep.
That's Jesus in Venice Beach right there. You gotta
Jesus in spring break, fuck Corona, right? Yeah.
Tight shirt.
Tequila shots.
Yeah, where's my baby? Turn some water into wine.
He's touching all the waters people got. Wine.
Jesus is a little salty. All right.
Man, if I could pick any of Jesus' power, it would definitely be the water into wine. Forget the raising people from the dead stuff.
Water into wine, please.
Be in a restaurant, be like, what do you want? Just water.
Yeah, right.
Be like,
sucker.
God damn it, you got us again. Don't bring him water next time.
But I'm allergic to alcohol. Ooh. Yeah, sorry, I don't have the raising the dead part power. So.
So Kenny,
where were we at talking?
Is Minecraft Dungeons a baby game?
Yeah, it's a baby game for babies.
Honestly, right now, so there's been spikes in difficulties a couple times. I did get killed a couple times. There was a golem boss that just popped out, and I was like, oh, and I was shooting arrows at it, and this thing jumped and punched me, and my guy was like, "Death, 2 lives left," and I was like, "Oh my god!" in moments like that, the spike was huge on difficulty. They do well with like throwing a lot of mobs at you, so it can kind of get frantic a little bit, just like any dungeon crawler can be. And depending on your how you're gearing yourself out and how you want to combat, you can find yourself in predicaments where like you're like, oh shit, like let me back up a little bit and then kind of corner them. Or I would sometimes where I felt like where if I ever ran out of arrows for my quiver, or I have a unique legendary harp bow.
And unique is like they're exotic, right? Or
Yeah.
Mhm.
So far, what I found is common, rare, and unique.
okay.
So with that one, I will just back off into like a doorway and funnel everybody in when I have no arrows, and just axe away at everything coming through, and I'll just where like they only have one way to get to me. But so far it's been enjoyable. It's it's not a story that you're gonna call home for. It's nothing to, oh my god, like you have to play this game for the story. No.
Can you
Yeah, I
play?
doubted that.
Can you play at local co-op?
Oh, you can play up to 4 people local co-op.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
4 people online.
Have you been playing solo the whole time? Or are you playing with randos?
I've been playing solo the whole time.
Nice.
Oh.
Dang, you're not getting. Well, I guess it's only been out a day. I was gonna say get your son to play with you.
Well, he saw me today. He's like, all right, I want to play with you later, Daddy. I'm like, that's fine. Let's play.
Hell yeah.
Start a whole new character to play with him when I do that, because I have one character already at level 12, 13, and even right now I'm stuck at not stuck because I haven't even tried the mission that I'm on now, but its recommended power level is 16, so I'm 3 under. So I feel like I'm gonna try it and see what happens. Get wrecked.
So does your character overall, does your character as a whole level, or his level is dependent on his gear?
He
Or your
levels. Your character levels and gains those enchantment points, right?
Okay.
You use those enchantment points to upgrade weapons, a weapons enchantment level.
What if you wanted to switch weapons?
So the good thing it does though is when you switch a weapon and you're like, oh shit, I like this weapon better. You unequip the one you had. When you scrap it, it gives you those enchantment points back.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Dang.
It doesn't force you to just, oh my god, I have to keep this one weapon because I put my enchantment points in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
Even though I understand that I've been struggling. I struggled slightly in the last mission just because I don't want to let go of this heart bow that I found, because it only takes away 1 arrow, but it has the chance of shooting out 7.
Ooh. How big of a chance though?
It only takes away 1 arrow when it does that.
Well, yeah. What's the chance?
20%.
So you're
Okay.
saying there's a chance?
There's a chance. So I'm like, and even when it doesn't do that, I think it shoots out 4 arrows. So that's just an enchantment that when it spikes, it shoots out 7, and then I'm wrecking mobs in just one pull of an arrow.
Could you take that enchantment off of that weapon to put it on like another bow, or like make it better?
Because that is special to that weapon.
Ah, that's
Yep.
cool.
I did find, my son was like, "Oh my god, you got the wither armor," and I'm like, "Yeah, right, cool." And I was like, "I don't know what the wither is, but
What the hell's that?
end game creatures that you find in like the end game of regular Minecraft."
Oh, they're the ghost things, right? They look like little jellyfish ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got an armor that's from them, and that one's pretty OP. I think I steal health from enemies near me, and I also did an enchantment so that any damage I do, I also gain health.
That's awesome.
That's been saving me kind of through some of these boss battles or boss mobs. I do say with my color blindness, I've been kind of just walking into lava because the lava looked the same.
Sorry, it's funny.
It's hard, man. Does it still make the noise when you could get hurt? Just go, oh.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
and then you'll see like little smoke on your character because he's on fire or whatever effect he has on him.
Gotcha.
Honestly, as a party game, something to just kill the time and a free game on Game Pass, I recommend it. It's not breaking it's not breaking 8 out of 10 for me though. I'd give it like a solid 7.
Okay.
For
Seems to
what
be
it
about
is,
where it's at on Metacritic.
exactly like for what it is, it's good. It's not introducing anything new to the genre. It's not breaking the mold. I practically look at it as a Diablo light. Like it took Diablo and dumbed it down for so I can enjoy it as well.
Hmm.
That's the way I look at it. But it's definitely not a baby game because I see that you can level up to like level 50 and there's like I want to say there's at least like 8 difficulty levels for every mission.
Oh wow. Okay.
You can crank up the difficulties on it. So I recommend it if people enjoy Minecraft, as a game as a whole, and want to play a dungeon crawling game, give it a try. It's free on Game Pass. If you got Game Pass, why not? It's not gonna hurt you. I
Oh, and
think
it's third person too. That's rad.
person over the top,
Yeah, that's wow. Yeah, I'm just looking at this for the first time. I thought it was like first person, but this is
and it's
uh,
on both the PC
download?
and console Game Pass. Can't go wrong with it.
Huh.
Nice.
That's pretty sweet.
Cool. Well, I want to talk a little bit about one more game I've been playing.
No,
If
hit
that-
us with that.
Oh, Wiley, can I just quickly mention that I did beat Children of Morta?
Oh yeah, totally.
Nice.
Yeah, I beat that with Caitlin a few days
Nice.
ago.
Isn't the last boss really cool?
Yeah, he took us a few
Yeah.
tries. Yeah, we had to go back and grind a little bit in order to actually like really beat him.
Was your attack all the way up to 20?
No, it wasn't. I think our attack was up to like 15 or 16.
Gotcha. Well, that's cool. Congrats. Game I wanted to mention, it just came out this week on Switch. It released late last year on the Apple Arcade, so for phones, and it is called What the Golf. It is a super zany, quirky golf game that is like, it's totally out there and it's not like real golf at all. It's each level is super bite sized. You can complete them in sometimes just a few seconds. Sometimes they might take, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute. And it's silly, physics based, indie, quirky nonsense. Like on one of the first levels, you're aiming up your shot, and then instead of the ball being shot, that your player character is, and like he starts flying around with like ragdoll physics, and then you
Anything
shoot
with
again.
Ragdoll's already got me. I love Ragdoll.
Yeah, like if you're into, I haven't played much of Human Fall Flat, but I think it's getting me a little bit of vibes of that. But they do some creative things with level design, with incorporating new and fun things to shoot, like it's a golf ball, like say it's a couch or something like that, and there's levels that have special objectives that each level kind of has 3 different parts. There's just completing it, then there's a second way to complete the level, which might be a simple thing like getting it under par, or it might be something that really changes up the way you play it, like now there's kids trying to block you from scoring the goal. And then there's a third one as well, and once you beat that, you kind of get 3 stars. Like it kind of has a mobile game feel, like in that sense. But you're kicking around the overworld with your basic golf controls. You run into a flag, and that starts the level. And super enjoying it. Like Elena was cracking up. Like it's a good game to play with non-gamers and with kids and have a laugh, because it's really silly, and it's on sale now for $14.99. It will be up to $19.99 soon on Switch. So if that sounds, you also can play it on your iPhone if you would rather, and it's probably a lot cheaper there too. So I think it's definitely scratching that silly indie itch. I think we've been playing a lot of violent and
Right.
AAA games lately. So it's been nice to go back to that for a little bit.
It's been your Untitled Goose Game of the recent months.
Yes, except it's actually fun, unlike Untitled Goose Game.
I liked Untitled Goose Game.
Oh well,
I still haven't played
It
it.
was a good
I
puzzle.
didn't give it enough of a shot, but I thought it was like really annoying.
Good
But
puzzle
Rake in
game.
the lake.
I uninstalled Untitled Goose Game pretty quickly.
so did I.
Sounds
was
like,
like,
your
this
goose
is
has been
not fun.
cooked.
I was like, why can't I figure this out? Fuck this. Uninstall.
It's
I'm
always
like,
nice to uninstall a Game Pass game. You're like, yeah, don't have to think about that one
Don't
anymore.
worry about it. Well, I'm like, moving on. All right, with that being said, right, I think we're moving on to cruising for a newsin.
Tyler, sleep at the wheel.
Woo!
Cruising
Speaking
for
of news,
that news.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. The coffee's hitting me. You guys keep going.
Oh, man.
Dang, that happens
so
to me too.
this week we don't got too much news on the plate, but I kind of definitely once again leaning heavily on Wiley for this one. We just had right before the show The Last of Us 2 State of Play. I've never played part 1. Tyler, what about you?
I have played it. I played probably about, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 hours of it.
Okay.
When did you play that?
At some point in my life.
I mean, I know when we were playing when we were like streaming with Kelly way back in the day, she was playing it, and I just didn't know that you had played it. But
I'm pretty sure. I think I played it a little bit like shortly after it was free on PlayStation Plus.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. So just before the show, Sony had a state of play. They did something similar with Ghost of Tsushima that we talked about last week. Or was that 2 weeks ago? Unimportant. But anyway, so we got a good deep dive into the gameplay. They reiterated
I think the new state of plays that they're doing have been really excellent between the way they did this one and with the Ghost of Tsushima.
Definitely, it's been definitely taking a page out of Nintendo's playbook and having some of them be focused on one game, and having the developer talk you through it has been a nice touch as opposed to the generic, here's what's coming to PlayStation, lady. So I almost didn't want to watch this, and I am not really disappointed that I did, because I think that they showed just little enough. The Last of Us Part 1, easily one of my, I don't know if it's one of my favorite gameplay experiences of all time, but it's definitely one of my favorite stories that I've ever experienced in a game. And it seems like this one is continuing with that incredibly high Naughty Dog bar. It was a little surprising seeing, and they were mentioning this on the Kind of Funny stream, which is what I watched it on, how similar the UI looks to the original game, and that a lot of the moment-to-moment gameplay, it looks, not exactly the same, but it's not as much of a change as you might expect from a 7-year sequel. But that's not to detract from how impressive it did look. I mean, just the little things that they've added, like being able to just break a random window and jump through it, and
they were showing like the dogs and like your scent trail and stuff like that. That seemed pretty wild.
Yeah.
And
And
it looks really amazing. And honestly, I have not even played hour of the first one, and I really keep sitting here thinking like, damn, this game's gonna come out. I'm not gonna be able to play it without playing the first one. I'm gonna have the same thing. I'm not gonna feel the same way as everybody else, Everybody invested
do
in
it.
right? So
Seriously, I think it would be a great thing, and I'm not trying to pressure you, but if you streamed it, like first ever blind playthrough.
That's what I was thinking too, and that might be what's gonna end up happening. Especially, I'm out of the funk. I've been back, playing more games, things like that, more social with people. So I definitely feel like I'm up for streaming some games,
Nice, glad to hear that.
getting out there. So we'll move on to the next story. Tyler is not a big fighting game guy, so I don't expect much from him. But Street Fighter 5 is getting a final season of downloadable content. How does that make you feel, Wiley? You're a fighting connoisseur guy. You like your fighting games here and there.
I do for sure, and Street Fighter 4 was the game that kind of got me into fighting games.
That was a really good one.
It was a really great one, yeah, and I played the crap out of it on PS3 with my friend John, and we would just play hours and hours. But 5, it just had such a lackluster launch when it came out way back in, I think, 2016, and it kind of felt too similar to 4 from a visual standpoint. In fact, it felt like a side grade rather than really an upgrade in terms of visuals.
It honestly felt like a big expansion because they really didn't have much to the meat to the bones. Like I felt like a lot of bone but no meat to the game when it first. Like it was just here's the characters and whatever you have. I remember the little missions each character had, right? They weren't really all that great to play.
No, especially when you compare it to something like Injustice or Mortal Kombat. The story modes are in need of a big time rehaul next time around.
And at least for myself personally, I went through a lot of connectivity issues while trying to play online. So that's my personal experience. I really didn't get to enjoy it that much. I actually have 5 still sitting on my shelf, and I really never went back to it. Never paid for any of the DLC, and I'm kind of surprised that they're even dropping more characters.
Because I had thought that it was done. Like I thought that. I remember hearing that on a Bombcast or something that like, oh yeah, this will be the final character.
Yeah, and they must be trying to churn out some more characters, but I would have just expected them to be moving on, get a Street Fighter 6 in production, get it out there,
I agree, and I hope that they do some kind of thing to really mix it up. I think the visual style is a little bit old hat at this point, and I know that the base gameplay, I think people are pretty happy with. Overall, I mean, the game's still on the main stage at EVO every year. Not this year because it's canceled, but unfortunately, I kind of missed the boat on 5. And when I hear that there's more characters coming out, I am just like, well, now it's even more overwhelming of a prospect to get into. But who knows? Maybe I'll get into it someday. But as it stands now, I'm just as somebody that plays so many different types of games, having a third fighting game that I have to be into in addition to Smash and Mortal Kombat seems
a lot.
Too much.
Especially with all these other games that you end up picking up and playing, especially these difficult ones, in the vein of Dark Souls, Sekiro, things like that. It's kind of tough adding in a fighter that you're not really excited for.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't want to jump ahead. I'll let you take. I was going to go to your question.
Oh, you wanted to go to the question? No, not yet. Let's get through the cheater that got caught in the Asian leg of the Fortnite Championship Series.
Using an aimbot?
No, using an aimbot. Surprisingly, Seko Sama, winner of the Asian leg, was caught cheating. He was caught teaming, a cooperative act that's banned in competitive play. So I guess Seko Sama's teammate would packs and other important items before leaving them in hidden spots for him to collect.
Oh gosh.
He would feed the Osama point as well as the items.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What a dumbass. Like that is such an easy way to get caught doing stuff. Like, why is this guy just dropping health packs and shield potions under this bridge here?
Exactly.
Right.
And the fact he lost out on $15,000 of winnings,
That's a lot of moolah.
And I guess the ban maybe is not. I feel the ban is not too bad. He's serving a 14-day suspension.
That's it.
it needs to be more for me, but we're not the ones that organize this. We're not the ones dealing with it, right? But I definitely think 14 days, that's like a slap on the wrist. But the 15,000 definitely sucks. You lost out on that. Second place
Dude,
up gets the winnings and gets the money. From my understanding, that's Q Jack. But damn, like, you know, 14 days, that's too little for me. Like, you need to
dude,
be.
don't you remember when Jarvis, like this happened back in I just looked it up in November. Fortnite creator they banned Jarvis for life, citing a zero tolerance policy for anybody using cheating software.
Oh, but using cheating software gets you banned for life, but cheating in a competitive tournament gets you on 14-day suspension. Makes no sense to me.
No sense at all. No. And Ninja came out in defense of Jarvis after this happened and was like, just too severe, which I agree. He's like 15 years old and he's got thousands and thousands of followers. Like, I think maybe even 2 months would have been fair enough.
Exactly.
But yeah. And
I know that. But
I was just gonna say, I read an article about Ninja and how Mixer has actually had like zero growth over the past year, and that all the other streaming services continue to grow, and that like he only has 3 million subscribers and he had 15 million on Twitch, and
he messed up.
In reality, when you look at it, I tried streaming on Mixer, and it's not that great of an interface. So, like, I feel as though my times trying to stream through Twitch and trying to stream on Mixer is two completely different things. You know, I try to be a big proponent of things Microsoft and Xbox. You know, so I try to be all about the Mixer, but it's tough, man. It's tough. You know, it's not really user friendly, man. I honestly, I was trying to stream and I was like, I really couldn't even figure out how to get my bit rate right. Compared to, like, with the bit rate that Tyler told me to set up for Twitch, perfect. No lag. You guys, you tuned in Wiley while I've streamed on Twitch. Nothing, not too bad, right?
No, nice and smooth.
Mixer, man, all over the place. Huge lags and spikes and just horrible, bit rate all over the place. It was bad, and I was trying to use the numbers Tyler told me to use, right? And I was like, no, I can't even do that there. I had to drop the numbers actually to get it right, and if I wouldn't have known that unless I googled it. Like, so it to me, it's just not convenient. Like, and then even updating the title of the stream, I can't do it inside the software. I have to go to the website first, update it there, and then go back to the software, and then I can start streaming. Too much for me.
Huh. That sounds like, yeah, there's a reason why Twitch is the market leader.
No.
But yeah, this is just a unfortunate story of cheating. I mean, it's just kind of funny just teaming up with somebody. Like, I wonder what that guy's cut was going to be. He's going to be like,
Exactly.
okay, I'll give you 2 G's. You just got to leave me some health potions and go get the Midas machine gun and drop it right here for me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, and then if you're in the competitive play, you got to be decent in some way. Like, who knows if he was doing this prior to even just this competition, and that's how he made it all the way like that.
Speaking of Fortnite, we were talking about it briefly before the show on when season 3 was going to start, and it looks like June 4th. So I still have a week to get my 6 or 7 levels to max out the battle pass, and I really want to do that.
Nice. You got Sheeta and Twitch saying, "Hey, what's going on, Sheeta?"
Hey,
going on?
How's it going? I actually was thinking of getting the battle pass for the next season because I'm gonna play more with my son as he's
nice.
Yeah, if we're all playing more, I was thinking about doing it even the other night when we were playing.
I mean, I will gift one of you the battle pass. We just have to come up with some kind of contest because I have like 2,500 V-Bucks and it's only 950 for the battle pass.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we'll have to think of some type of competition who gets season
can't-
3
Yeah,
one.
there you
It can't be Mortal Kombat and it can't be Super Smash because I'd win.
go.
Well,
Yeah, well, that's just be on my game with my K rule. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
He's got a pretty good K
Joker
rule.
had the last couple times.
He has. I gotta get a little bit better.
You never know. Maybe I've been playing on the low and you didn't know that.
Maybe you haven't even seen. You haven't gone all the way yet. You haven't been 100% of your power.
I haven't gone Plus Ultra yet.
No, not yet. But that's okay, because when you
Dang.
will, I'll suck you up with my gun and then shoot you back out. I go,
That little combo is fucking annoying.
I know, I love it.
Even though I know my style of play and Smash is kind of annoying, I just come full frontal assault with speed and with my what's it called, the counter.
Joker.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of counters, maybe I don't know, come the 29th, this couple days when Xenoblade re-releases for Switch, maybe I'll switch up my main, bring Shulk back into the mix.
Oh boy.
Mm.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, used to do him
naked
in,
choke.
oh yeah.
All right,
Show.
so we are done with cruising for Newsen. We're trying, because it was my week hosting. I threw in something in there, like my kickback corner. I'm asking you guys this question: what game would you love to be able to wipe from your memory and experience once again, like you've never played it before?
Ooh,
It's a good question. It's a good question.
that is a really good question.
Who wants to start?
What's funny is I'm looking at the outline. Wiley wrote in my answer:
What?
Really?
No way.
Mass Effect 2.
Ooh.
Wow.
I love that game. Like I had the collector's edition of it for the 360. I remember picking up that game and playing the crap out of it. That game to me was hands down as great as any of the Mass Effects were.
Oh,
3
good.
was good. Andromeda was. I felt it was okay and good when after I played it. After all, everything was fixed. But 2
Mm-hmm.
was like a masterpiece.
Absolute masterpiece. What stuck out to me is just the wording of the question and just the emotional resonance of the suicide mission after all these years.
Man,
Yeah. So
I played that game 4 times through, Wiley. I don't know how many times you played it.
twice.
And my first time, I did not. I had 2 people die on me in the suicide mission. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until my 3rd playthrough that I got a perfect suicide mission, and everybody survived.
Yeah, I got it on my second. Several people died on my first playthrough. So if you don't know, spoilers for Mass Effect 2, but you're going on this big epic mission, and depending on how much time you spent with these characters and finish their main quests, their side quests, they'll end up surviving or not surviving this mission, and they die and really like kind of one after the other, like shit just going wrong on this crazy last mission.
That sucks.
And
You didn't rank up their confidence enough.
exactly, it's pretty much just like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't have a
And-
meter to gauge it, do you? You don't know when you're like, oh, all this person's side quests are done.
Well, they have like one main one. I think you get like a trophy for like each of the like 7 or 8 party members that there are.
Right.
So it's not that hard to figure out, but
That's cool. So it is possible to keep everybody if you do all of their side stuff.
yeah, and maybe there's some just choices that you need to make on the final mission that also can affect whether everybody lives or dies. But just the game in general is one of the best and most memorable from last generation, really, of all time for me. Just the incredible richness of the world, of the characters, of the Normandy and the
How
Miranda.
shocking was the beginning, Wiley?
How what?
How shocking was that game when like those first 15 minutes when you started up, like that first time you played it? I remember being like, "What the hell is happening here?"
Yeah, I mean, it definitely starts off with a bang. I was confused because, and this is embarrassing, I still have not played 1.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay. I didn't either. I played like maybe an hour of it, and I was like, put it down.
I played 2 and 3, and I like looked up some story stuff for 1 to explain like the stories of some of the characters that I was seeing pop up.
I've only played 1.
Oh, huh.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Lots of rumors about the remaster trilogy coming soon.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
the rumors have been all over Reddit. So honestly, the rumors have been there for like the last 4 years. But I feel
True.
like it's happened up hard this time around.
I hope they do it for the PS5 and Xbox One. I mean, whatever. I guess there's smart delivery and everything, so we'll guess it probably won't make too much of a difference anyway. So what's Tyler's answer? And I already know it. It's Persona 5.
Kenny told me I couldn't say Persona 5, so I was trying to think of another one.
I fucking did say Persona 5.
I don't know, maybe Dragon Quest 11. That was a good one. I'm trying to think. I'm like so bad at like remembering games that I've played. Anthony, you got one for me?
You should keep a list like I do.
I've got one. It was either between one of the two that I could think of. The list is good. I live by lists. I got a bunch up there. Or at least that's my to-do list. But Kingdom Hearts, like the first one, like going back and just being like, whoa. But I think that
but am I like going back and playing the game like as if it were now, or am I going back and like experiencing it for the first time as like when I was that age?
12-year-old.
Yeah.
I think because that plays a huge role, and especially in a game like Kingdom Hearts, it's like the age. It was perfect because I played it right when it first came out. I was like 10, and I was like, holy shit!
Yeah, it was
this is
fucking
the coolest
awesome
thing.
when it first came out.
Yeah, so I was like, it's a very time sensitive one. So it's very.
You know, I got an answer. Undertale would be my answer.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Nice.
I was either gonna do that one or not Undertale, Kingdom Hearts or No More Heroes one for the Wii.
Dude, my Undertale playthrough got totally screwed, and it was because I was going through a pacifist, so I wasn't leveling up or anything, and like I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, but what I did, it's my only run, my only time I played it. So I, at the very beginning of the game, you know, there's that cow lady, the cow mother or whatever.
Oh yeah, you like accidentally killed her or something? Or...
Yeah, I accidentally killed her, and so I got this super hard last boss that I had absolutely no chance against. I couldn't go back and grind. I like literally thought I was stuck. Like,
who was the last boss? Like, who did you fight for the last boss? Because I know no matter what you do, depending, and I found this out the hard way because I wanted to do the same thing. I was like, I want to be a pacifist the first time. I want to do that. And then no matter what you do, no matter what path you take the first playthrough, you always have to go back and do it. Like it's called a neutral run. And then you go back and do it the second time as either pacifist or you can just kill everybody.
Oh really? Well, no, the I don't remember what the boss was called or anything, but it was like super psychedelic and flashy, and like it's not like the rest of the game at all, and it's like it starts out as a little flower and then it explodes or something like.
Oh yeah, no, that boss is hard. That's the boss you're supposed to get. But yeah, it gets fucking real trippy. The music is amazing too.
But I had not leveled up at all, and so I couldn't do any damage to it, and
you have to just go back and forth. Like I think it's all just the dodging because you don't really do much damage to it.
Oh, well, maybe I'll finally beat it.
There are some bosses
you should go
like
back.
that.
It's good. It's worth it to at least beat once.
Okay.
So what about you, Kenny?
Well, you took my Mass Effect 2. So I'm trying to think. For that, it would be
Anthony. Do you have one?
Yeah,
Dragon Quest.
I know which one. Because you said Mass Effect 2. Mine would be Resident Evil 4.
Oh,
there you go.
Nice. Definitely a classic.
Yep. Very fun.
Did you play it first on GameCube or PS2, Kenny? Like, what was your version you played?
GameCube. I played it at my friend Pablo's house. Me and him, we beat it.
Hell yeah.
It was super fun. I'd stay over there. We start playing at like 10 at night, play until like 7 in the morning.
Hell yeah.
And then get back to gaming.
I can still remember the opening like beats hours of that game so well. Just like when you first get into the village and there's the guy with the chainsaw, you got to find the shotgun. You're just getting so overwhelmed with enemies, and which was novel at the time. And then there's the boss on the lake is awesome.
That's when we have to harpoon it, right? You have to throw
and there's a really cool little Easter egg where if you like shoot a fish that you see in the water, it'll just like come up and eat you real quick. And
really,
yeah. That's spooky. Then after the fish boss, there's the really great ogre boss, and that's up to the point where I remember. I know there's the castle and the whatnot, and it gets a little bit less good the second half of the game, but it's an awesome, good choice. And my second one, I know I'm cheating, is just I would love to play Bloodborne, having played all the other Souls games, because it was my first.
Oh wow!
And then I went back and played all of them in 2016, and if I had that knowledge and just that excitement going in and knowing what to expect and not dying such a frustrating amount, then that would have been pretty. Like if Bloodborne was just coming out now, that would be really, really cool.
Yeah. They do need to make a follow-up for that. I'd love to see.
They do. If that would be the most hype. PS5 revealed. There's title. Even Jason Schreier tweeted this today that June 3rd there's going to be a big PS5 event. He said that it's looking likely or something like that.
Yep, I saw that too. Gotta tune in.
Yeah, that's next week, man. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a good look to see. Hopefully, they show us what the PS5 looks like. You know,
it's about damn time, and they showed us back in December what the Series X looked like. So
we'll get there.
Where all the rumors that were swirling around, I can understand why they've been taking their time. You know, with showing it, because they were going through some overheating issues, from what the rumors say.
Right. Well, exciting times coming down to the wire.
Oh yeah.
So guys, I guess that's the end, right? You know, we're wrapping it up.
I guess so.
Any last remarks from you guys for the show, for our audience?
Let's see. You can catch us. We're usually on Tuesdays doing the show live. We're switching up hosts, trying to get a little wacky and zany with that aspect of it.
Ooh, so wacky.
Yeah, so wacky. This is crazy. Who thought of this?
It's good. No, I texted the group last night and I said, "Hey guys," and last night I mean, for me, this was like 2 days ago. I think it was like 10 or 11 a.m. I was like, "Guys, I'm coming down off a 2-day bender. I'm gonna be sleeping for the next 14 hours. I'm gonna have to miss the show today."
Wait, you're just like up for 2 days straight?
Yeah, I've been bad.
Yeah.
How's he supposed to get the drawing in?
No, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. We'll be doing some streaming this week, I think. You'll at least be hearing my voice during those streams. So
hell yeah.
Check us out. Hopefully Sunday we'll have some details either on our Facebook or on our Discord server. Somewhere there's gonna be some details about when we're going live. We'll go live. If you're subscribed or following us on Twitch or YouTube, you know, you might get the notification. Not sure where we're gonna go live with. So check us out Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Sunday. If you want to see Kenny stream The Last of Us, like the video.
Like the video.
Like, comment, and subscribe. You want me to watch? Oh, you want me to play The Last of Us? I'm not playing it on hard or anything crazy like that. Don't try me. I will enjoy the game, not hate my life.
No, it's not too bad.
I heard that it's just the ammunition and stuff like that is scarce, right?
It is. You gotta like mix it up, and that's what makes it great, though. Is like you gotta pick up a 2x4 and make that do its job for a minute.
Work.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You got this. You gotta beat RE3 first, though.
No, just play Last of Us.
All right, guys.
That's what you show. I will see you guys next week.
Catch you next week.
Miss you. Love you. Bye.
See you guys.